Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And Husky Tools out of Home Depot has got a new knife. It's a utility knife, but it's a little bit different than some of the others. And I guess I've got a weakness for utility knives, especially when there's some innovation that's been added to the design. The original utility knife first appeared in 1936, as far as a deliberate shop knife from the Stanley Tool Company. And this is a classic number 99. And in 1936, the Stanley Tool Company was like 90 years old already. Stanley Tools was founded in 1843 by Frederick Trent Stanley in Connecticut. Anyway, this was a fixed blade on a utility handle. You could have blade storage on the inside, but required a slotted screwdriver in order to open it up and drop a new blade in. Now, of course, they updated that along with most other most other companies where you actually had a retractable blade, and it used generally a thumb switch across the top. And then, of course, it didn't take long before we added a few more different stop positions for different length blades. In this case, again, the blade storage is on the inside, so you'd have to open it up with a screwdriver. Now, some other companies, that I like Fiskars, have really tried to push that. Here we've got a folding utility knife. They've changed the ergonomics of the handle, added a belt clip, basically a different design for holding the blade. Very easy to open and close. Here's another one. These are the Fiskar Pros. In this case, they're using a fixed, this is kind of an interesting hybrid. They're using a fixed handle, just like the original Stanley 99. Of course, they've added the ergonomics, the new materials, etc. It requires you to, instead of use a screwdriver, you have to unscrew this and then open this panel. You can see the hinge down here, and then you can swap out blades. But the key here is there's a little release mechanism, and a blade cover swings on a hinge. So you have the solid design of a fixed blade, because anything that moves can become a weakness. We know that. And so in this case, they've just moved the cover back and forth. So that's one way to handle it. But there are a lot of places, and I didn't realize this till I started doing videos, and some of the commenters from overseas and from certain companies said that the only type of utility knife that they are allowed to use on the job is one that self-retracts. So there are a lot of knives that have that feature, but essentially they're the same here, except you've got to hold your thumb in this position to keep the blade retracted. To me, that's not very innovative. They kept most things the same. You also notice you'd have to open this thing up right here in order to change the blade. So it's designed with safety in mind. However, I saw this one, and this made sense to me. So it basically has a handle here that you squeeze. So it is a retracting knife. I'd like to know, would it fit the same job requirements, say, as something like this Milwaukee? But it's a much more natural way to hold the knife. And because this has a self-retracting mechanism, it can't stop part way out. If you want just a little, that's up to your thumb. However, this does have some settings. First, you can lock it. This doesn't have a lock, so this cannot open, if it's in your tool bag or something. If you go to the one setting here, then it opens this far. So this would be good for just cutting open, here's some cardboard, just making some cuts, but not super deep. Then it's got 2. Another setting comes out a little bit further. And 3. So you can see, so there's 3, it's full length. There's 2. There's 1. And full lock. Now it does have this button, and I'm not a big fan of this. I think it's way sticks out way too far. I've accidentally hit that button, but what it means is when the blade is out, you push in the button, and then you can slide this out. And this comes out, I think, a little bit too easily. This does have some blade storage in the back. This is another thing. Look at that. You see that? You got to get everything just right. Otherwise, this thing can throw fits. So you have to hold this up, push the blade in, or push the button in, and then you can lock it in. There we go. So I think it could be a little better, but this is under $8. The blade storage in the back right here, you can hold a couple of blades, just slide in, little snap down cover. Now the cover is plastic, but as far as I can tell, this is some kind of metal. I'm not sure what. Magnesium. I took my little snap-on tool here, and I scratched it, and I'm getting a little bit of a metallic sheen using this pick here. So I'm guessing, you know, I scraped through whatever coating they've got on it. But anyway, overall, I kind of like just being able to retract, or have it automatically retract, but not have to hold it in this position and then have it snap back the same way. So, you know, if I wanted to cut through things or open boxes or whatever, and then let go and it's done, and I can lock it. So it's got that safety feature. Anyway, this is the 1008302404. That is the model number. And it's got 3 blades. Obviously comes with 1, 2 on board. Lanyard hole on the back. Seems to be fairly well made for a simple thing, and if you look, you can get into it. Looks like, I assume those are hexes, maybe Torx. They're little. But for the price, I like it, and if you need that retracting or auto-retracting, there you go. To me, I like it better than the Milwaukee. Let me know if you have experience with job environments that require that auto-retraction, and if it is more than just the knife has to retract. Are there other requirements that this would or would not make the cut? Pun intended. And with that, Doc out.